Welcome back to y'all. Welcome back, all of you guys, both new and old. Welcome back, YouTube world, Hollywood slash the tribe. All of you guys, welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you another review. This time for Black Widow. I almost forgot that I seen it and I was supposed to do a review for it. I was doing so many reviews, it just slipped my mind. I was like, oh my god, I watched Black Widow. I have to do a review for it. I didn't do a review video for it, so here it is. I'll be a little late, but here it is. A review for Black Widow. So, I just want to thank everybody for joining, and we're about to get into the synopsis. It says, Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. Pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down, Natasha must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake long before she became an Avenger. So, now that we got that out the way, Black Widow is basically one of those movies where it's unique because we already know what Black Widow's fate. Everybody's seen Avengers Endgame by now, so we all know that Black Widow dies, right? So everybody gonna be like, it's gonna be one person in the comments that be like, I never seen Endgame. It's like, oh well, you just got spoiled that Black Widow dies. It's like I assumed that everybody saw Endgame and knows that she dies. I guess I was wrong. So, Black Widow basically tells the story of what happened after. Because this movie is set after Captain America Civil War, but before Infinity War. So it's after. Excuse me. It's after. This is like the next movie after Captain America Civil War, like I said, and the prequel to Infinity War. So this is how they, say, okay, this is how we bring her back for this movie. This movie takes place this and this and this. So we are introduced. The movie introduced us to a young Natasha, a young Yelena, and along with Alexei and Melina, aka Alexei. We all know Alexei as Red Guardian. The one thing I like to point out too, that it was just the thing I caught. It caught my eye. Like right from the beginning, I'm looking at the young girl, the young actress who plays the young Natasha, and it's something about it. Like I'm like, wait a minute, why does she look familiar? She look like I swear for God, she looked so familiar because I recognize her facial structures, and then I'm like, it's like I know what it is. I know who it is. That's the daughter of Mila Jovovich and Paul W.S. Anderson. Because I reckon she looks just like her mom. And so and turns out I was right. That the actress who plays young Natasha is actually Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich, a.k.a. Alice. My name is Alice. And my daughter now does movies. Yeah, it was like the first thing that made me, I was just like, wow, I didn't think that was surprising. I didn't think she was actually in this movie. The last time I saw her, she was in Resident Evil. But yeah, she was in this movie. She played young Natasha. But off subject, I just want to throw out that was like a cool little thing that had to see that she's actually taking a liking to acting. So yeah, we're introduced to them, and we're introduced to a situation where all of a sudden, once Alexei gets home, aka Red Guardian, they act like they are the mother and father figures to Natasha and Yelena. All of a sudden, they just uproot. They gotta go. They can't really take nothing with them but the essentials. And then all of a sudden they shoot off. You know, they gotta leave. A shootout happens. Something happens. People get separated, and we pretty much figure out. We see this pretty much sets up how both Yelena and Natasha are sent to the Red Room. This sets up them being integrated into the Red Room. We meet Dracoff, a person from Natasha's past that she's mentioned before, and then it transitions once they get to it does a title screen intro. Transitions to the present ish. It transforms to after the events of Civil War, and we see that Thaddeus Ross, he's basically looking for Natasha because she disobeyed the Soviet Accords, as we know she didn't. She helped Captain America escape. She fought against T'Challa and whatnot. So and because we remember what Tony said, she was reported. They reported her for that, and so now she's on the run. So this is how we see Thaddeus Ross basically chasing her, and he basically running her down for the things she did in Civil War, and that they basically got her surrounded and she should come out nicely. And then we got a little switch and bait here, or I would say maybe saying switch and bait is probably like the wrong thing, but it was nice how she played them. I'll put it that way. She played Thaddeus very good. They thought they had her surrounded, and the way how she fooled them was very unique. Then we continue to see her on the run, and then we see her how she was living for a while, peacefully in the trailer home or whatnot. She had Rick Mason, her little go-to guy for weapons and ways to get in and out of the country undetected or whatnot. We see her basically get pulled into Yolanda's business as we switch to Yolanda, and she's with this group of people, which is shown to be Black Widows, chasing this lady. This lady got something in the briefcase, and wherever this particular thing is like a gas, and it caused Yolanda to almost like she woke up and was like, "What, women? What?" She's like she's herself again, but she realized she's done something terrible, but she's forgiven for it as long as she basically helps free everybody from the Red Room, free everybody from the control of the brainwashing or whatever. So she basically sends this container or stuff to Natasha. Natasha realizing what it was, she goes to go investigate it, but then she gets attacked, and she gets attacked by the main villain, or I should say, one of the two main villains of this movie, Taskmaster. I'm gonna touch on that. I'm gonna touch on Taskmaster in a minute, but so her and Taskmaster fight for the first time. She realizes, what we all know Taskmaster will be able to do. Taskmaster can manipulate and copy. That's like his superhuman power, and being able to copy the fighting styles of anybody he sees, including that of superheroes. No matter if they have powers or not, he could copy the way they fight to the exact T. It's like, so I think it's the mimicry, and he basically could do. That's basically what he could do. That's like his superhuman power. I think he's considered a super soldier. Yeah, I think he was a. If I'm correct, I think his backstory is supposed to be that he's an ex-SHIELD agent turned, he's an ex-SHIELD agent with that ability, but then he became Taskmaster turned villain. But they introduced this classic villain, A fight ensues. She gets away from Taskmaster with the vials, with this gas, and she ends up finding Yelena and back in Budapest in a safe house. And Yelena, her and Yelena, they get into a fight. They realize, each is, they really is who they are. Yeah, I mean, because Yelena didn't know if Natasha was brainwashed or not, and they realize she ain't. So they make amends. They call the truce. They get to argue about why Yelena sent the vials to her, and she said she was the only person she could think of to send it to. Her being an Avenger. And she joked, Natasha jokefully, like, joking, not joking type thing, like, the Avengers, well, the me and the Avengers are kind of kaput for right now. And throughout, like, we were seeing it in the trailers, Yana makes a crack about how there could have been no other Avengers that could have helped or whatnot. And, they go on this adventure to basically find out the truth about Dreykov. Because Yelena informs Natasha that Dreykov and the Red Room project still exist, which Natasha says no, it can't be, because I personally made sure that was destroyed, that the Red Room was over, when I killed Dreykov, and she was like, did you see the body? Did you confirm the kill? And she's like, and Natasha just sits there and think and realize that she didn't confirm the kill. She saw the kill. She saw it happen, but she didn't confirm the body. She didn't confirm that that Dreykov was really dead. And so once she gets this notion that Dreykov is still alive and that the Red Room is still active, they go on this wild adventure reassembling her family together. The only people that she knows that can help her stop the Red Room once and for all. And that's where Alexei, Red Guardian, and Melina come back into the picture. We see Red Guardian, he's in prison, and the whole thing in prison is funny how his whole I should be captain, how his whole rivalry in his mind with Captain America. He doesn't have a real rivalry with Captain America. It's just in his mind. Because both of them they both got, similar costume. They both use similar fighting styles with the shield and everything. So it was like in his mind, he got this whole rivalry going on. He tell these old war stories about him and Captain America, and when somebody call him out, he like joke, like in the films, joyfully where he hurts them for trying to call him a liar, because he got superhuman strength and everything. They break him. They break him out of jail. They go find Melina, who tells them that about the project, about this particular project that's being conducted right now, where they can control people, and a fight ensues, which leads them to a battle with Dreykov and Taskmaster, and overall pretty good time, which leads into Infinity War. And you know what I mean. It doesn't actually you don't actually see how she gets back to Captain America or whatnot. I mean, what you do see what she used to get back to them, but you don't see her actually meeting up with them and stuff. You just see her transition to the Infinity War, Black Widow, with the hairstyle and everything. It just transitions. That's how you at the end of the movie, when it transitions to her and how she looked in Infinity War. That basically sets up for her going back to the Infinity War. Overall, I give the movie I wanted to give the movie a perfect 10. When I was going to do this review, I was going to tell you guys, what? Black Widow's a 10 out of 10. Big ups. Go see the movie. Definitely buy it on DVD. I wanted to praise it like that. But if I want to be honest, and I like to be honest with my reviews, I'm not. This is not good. This is not me about to say, oh, it's like a horrible 4 out of 10 movie. No, it's not me about to say that. It just, now I got to get into why I don't like it. not like it, but why I don't like it as a perfect 10 movie. But what I'm going to give this movie 9 big ups. Yeah, I was going to say 9.5, but I'm not. I'm like, you know what? 9 big ups. But this is why I take a whole point away from Black Widow. Everything in Black Widow was good. I love Yolanda. I love how she makes fun of Black Widow for posing. She said at one point she says in the movie, "You're a total poser." And even how she reminds Natasha that she could try to run away from her past all she wants. That's like her weakness. The fact that she can't accept that cause Yolanda calls her out, like she says, "Oh, you think you play Avenger, you play like you're a hero and stuff." She said, "But in reality, at least I know who I am. At least I know I'm a killer. At least I accepted the fact that I'm a killer and stuff. You're the only one who haven't accepted that because you're the one who you're on magazines. I'm not. At least I'm not trying to pretend to be something I'm not on magazines and stuff. I accepted the fact that I'm a killer and all that type of stuff. She accepted her life, like everything that happened to her. She accepted it and moved on. And she calls Natasha out for not really moving on from what happened to her, saying that her running away to be an Avenger and forgetting her old family was a way to repress her old life, so she wouldn't have to think about the things she did. And that her time as an Avenger, and from when we meet her and Iron Man up until now, was all just a lie to forget her past, while everybody else haven't forgotten their past and accepted it. She's basically that. But what I don't like about the movie, that was the one thing. Yolanda, I didn't think I was gonna like her as much, but I love Yolanda. She's like one of the treasure gems. I just like how I even like the fact that when she actually does the pose, she does the pose 2 times. The first time to make fun of her when she called her like a total poser, but then she does it again, and then she's like, she hits this, she goes like this, like Natasha be doing this. She like, ugh. She said that's just disgusting. She basically said no, that's disgusting. She's the opposite of Natasha. She hates doing the poses when they land on the ground and stuff, because she feels like that's just silly and stupid. But I don't like Taskmasker. Like, I kept getting sidetracked, but I don't like Taskmasker. I love Alexia. Alexia was funny too. Melina was okay. She was okay for the most part, but I love Alexia. I love Yelena. But I was hoping. My expectation was like, okay, we get a live action. We get a live action version of Taskmasker. They can't mess this up, right? They kind of okay. I'm like, well, they kind of did mess up Black Widow. I'm not Black Widow. Captain Marvel. But then I'm like, they can't mess it up. They can't mess it up like that. So, and then it was like, okay, for the most part they didn't, but they completely messed up Taskmaster. This reminded me of Ant-Man and the Wasp when they brought in Ghost. Ghost was way different from his comic book / TV show counterpart, and so was Taskmasker. For lack of a better term, that was the reason why I brought it up. So if you don't want it, like, I didn't spoil anything, but I kind of left a hint to Taskmasker. And what I'm about to say is the thing about Taskmasker is, the first thing I didn't like was it was from once they showed this particular scene. It's a flashback scene how or what Natasha had to do to get on the good side of S.H.I.E.L.D. What she had to do so that S.H.I.E.L.D., instead of killing her, will help her get out and make her basically the Black Widow that we come to know that will eventually join the Avengers. We see that via the flashback, and that flashback, if you pay attention to it, you're like, yeah, I know who Taskmasker is. At that point, if you observe enough, it was a reason. It was another reason why they showed that scene, other than just to show how Black Widow had to get what Black Widow had to do to get to be in the Shield and not be killed or whatever. So it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know who Taskmaster is. So sure enough, that person really was Taskmaster. The person that we thought to be dead is not is now Taskmaster, and Taskmaster is not even the person like from the comic. Taskmaster is a talkative douchebag. He's going to talk to you while he's beating you up because he's so confident in himself, and he's so this and so that. And the one thing I didn't like was that they changed the backstory, because like I said, Taskmaster is supposed to be another fellow Shield operative that works for that went villain, that turned mercenary / villain, and they completely did away with that backstory. It's nowhere near that no more. Now, in the movie, Taskmaster is connected to the Red Room and Dracoff and all that type of stuff. And I didn't like. The only thing I did like was that we did get to see the classic moves of Taskmaster. But other than that, it was just, I didn't really enjoy Taskmaster at all. Like, other than like his classic, mimicry move, you got to see him mimic some of the fighting styles and stuff. Now, that's one of the reasons why I want to go back to see like all the fighting styles that that Taskmaster did, to see what what he fought like. I know he did T'Challa, and I know he did Captain America, but I forgot who else he fought like. But other than that, other than the blunder of Taskmaster, I love everything else in the movie. Everything else in the movie was great. The visual effects was great. The action and the pacing was great. It's a little bit of comedy and it was great. It just if they just could have, for me personally, if they just could have got Taskmaster perfect, then I would have said this movie was a perfect 10. But for me, because they didn't, and I was looking very forward to see how Taskmaster was going to play and look, I really didn't enjoy it. So at the end, Taskmaster was a letdown villain that I didn't like, and other than the powers, I didn't like. But that's all I got. I'm done rambling on. And on. If you enjoyed this video or my rule, I forgot, before I get to that, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Black Widow. If you enjoyed Black Widow, if you like Taskmaster, let me know in the comments down below. Or if you didn't, also let me know in the comments down below. But now, if you enjoyed this video, then hit this button right there in the upper right corner for all my review videos up until, starting until now. And if you really enjoy and want to become part of the family, become part of the tribe, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification button so when you get notified when I drop videos. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. Don't go anywhere because I got some gameplay video coming up next. Peace.